Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to lecture you about Android OS versus Symbian OS. So let's see what is Android OS. So Android OS is a mobile OS based on modified version of a Linux kernel and other open software. It is free and open source software. It was disclosed in November 2007 with the first commercial Android device, the HTC Dream, launched in September 2008. So let's see what are the features of Android OS. So automation, the task app allows control of app permissions and app downloads. You can download apps on your PC by using the Android Market and battery. So battery, Google's OS makes it possible to upgrade, replace, and remove your battery. And widgets. Apps are versatile. Android widgets let you display just about any feature you choose. And now let's see the architecture of the Android OS. There are four components. There are applications, application framework, Android runtime, and Linux kernel. As I told you, Android OS is based on the Linux kernel. And in applications, we have two things: the home and the contacts. And in application framework, we have the manager things, the activity manager, window manager. So in this framework, application framework, the whole software will be managed. And in Android runtime, we have device, and in native libraries, we have the SQLite, graphics, media, etc. And in Lex kernel, we have device drivers. And that's all about the architecture. Now let's see the advantages of Android OS. um, Nowadays everyone are using Android since it is cheaper than iOS. We can easily buy Android OS, Android smartphones. And the first advantage, it is an open ecosystem and it is open source OS, and it is diverse phone options. We have infinite phone options in Android, and we can easily customize or we can easily modify our ROM options. And it is very user friendly, as I told you. Many people are using Android, and there are some disadvantages, though it is very user friendly. So the disadvantages include the complex layouts and animations are harder to code in Android. The coding in Android is C++. So the layouts will be complex and the animations are harder to code for the developers, and a lot of process in the background that lead to battery quickly drains. So the battery in the Android quickly drain. And so the major disadvantage in Android is the advertisement. So the advertise will always be ads on display, either the top or the bottom of the application. So and the another disadvantage is low security. So compared to iOS, our Android OS is low secure, and fake apps can be installed to steal your info from unknown resources. So fake apps can also be installed on your Android OS. So without any security alert, they can be installed in your Android OS. So these are some of the disadvantages of Android OS. So let's see the applications. The applications include Android smartphones and tablets, Android tablets, and Android smartwatches. So the smartwatches are ruling the world. So in with using the Android OS, developers are developing smartwatches also. So that's all about the Android OS. So let's see about the Symbian OS. Symbian OS is also an OS for mobile phones, are primarily used in Nokia. So Nokia is based on Symbian OS. So Symbian OS runs exclusively on ARM processors and has evolved from Prison's Epoch, which was developed as a rudimentary OS for early electronic organizers. Alright, so let's see the features of Symbian OS. So browser, we are having browser and messaging systems. Security, so Symbian OS is basically named for its security purpose and multitasking. In Symbian OS, we can do multitask. And let's see the architecture. So it has UI framework, application service, and application services include a generic service and a common service. and it is running using Java J2ME, and these includes multimedia and graphics and connectivity services. And it also has the base services, and at last it is having kernel services and hardware abstraction. So let's see the advantages. They include Symbian OS provides open platform, so it is also an open platform OS. So it is an independent technology and software vendors to develop the third-party app. Symbian allowed impressive battery life. It is having a good battery life, and Symbian required lower hardware requirements. So, just using the lower hardware requirements, we can develop a Symbian OS. And disadvantages include Symbian OS is dependent only on Nokia. So only on Nokia we can the Symbian OS can be developed. And major drawback of Symbian OS is it is provided a late response as compared to iOS and Android. So the run time of Symbian OS is comparatively low, and the touch of Symbian used devices are not as smooth as compared to iOS. So the display, the physical, I mean the touch of Symbian OS, I mean Symbian devices are not as smooth as compared to iOS and Android. So let's see the applications. So the applications include smartphones, business, and in gaming. Symbian OS are very much as it. The first game was in everyone used to have Nokia phones, and in Nokia phones we have games. So Symbian OS is basically named for its game. So difference table. So let's see the difference between the Android and Symbian. So the first one is released. Android is released on September 23rd, 2008, and Symbian is released on June 5, 1997. Okay, the developers. It was developed and released by Google, and Symbian was developed by Symbian Incorporation. So, as I told you, Android was developed using the programming language C and C++, and Symbian is plainly, it is fully written in C++. I mean, developed in C++. And the kernel versions, Android using Linux kernel, and Symbian using microkernel. So, microkernel has more advantages since a micro in the name we can tell that microkernel's architecture is comparatively small, and since it is small, microkernels are fast and accurate in nature comparing to iOS and Android OS device. So Android OS is touchscreen. Symbian is faster in keypad devices comparing to touchscreen. Software. So Android is open source, Symbian is closed source. Package manager, Android is .apk and Symbian is .sas, .sasx and .jar, etc. I hope you understood the difference between Symbian and Android. Thank you.